did a movie called My Best Friend's Girl with Kate Hudson in it, and I was talking to Kate about a moment I was trying to direct her, and you know, I was using a lot of big words, you know, trying to sound like a director, impress her, and she just looked at me and she went like, "Why don't you just tell me what you want?" And I flashed back to many Saturdays mornings of sitting listening to Milton in the Beverly Hills Playhouse, where I've been a member for close to 25 years. And I remembered the story that Milton told me about Kate Hudson's first experience there. He had directed her mom, Goldie Hawn, and when Goldie called Milton and said, "What about my daughter Kate? You know, what? I want her to study acting. What college should I send her to?" And Milton said, "Send her to me." So Goldie did. Kate went to class, and Kate never did anything. She just watched and she watched. And then one morning she agreed to be in the scene with an ensemble group where she had one line, something about a cup of coffee. All the actors acting, a lot of acting. 20 minutes later they sit in the lip of the stage for the critique, and they're all waiting for the critique, and Kate barely was even aware that she was going to get told anything. She had one line. Quiet. And Milton said, looked right at Kate, and he said, "So, your name is?" She said, "Kate Hudson." And he said, "You're going to be a star." And about 6 weeks after that, she was cast in Almost Famous, and she became a star. So, the Beverly Hills Playhouse has a lot of stories like that, and I've witnessed them. I don't mean to scare anybody. There is a witch-like quality to that. But Kate did say to me over and over when I was working with her, if you work with Milton and you study at the Beverly Hills Playhouse, why don't you just tell me what you want? And I think I've learned now finally that that is the way to go. And that's one of the things Milton will tell you. Just tell people what you want. Just a small anecdote. Recently I hadn't worked for a while because my last movie didn't make money. And I was in jail for a while. They call it movie jail in Hollywood. And other places it's called unemployed, but here that's what they refer to it as. And in that time, which was about 3 years, I did a scene in class from a John Patrick Shanley play called Italian-American Reconciliation. And I did it, rehearsed for about 2.5 months. And it went well. I was very nervous when we put it up, and it went very well. And I have to say that it went even better than I ever dreamed. And I kind of wallowed in that victory for about, I don't know, 6 months. I kept thinking in my head over and over, wow, that actually worked. The class really liked it, and Milton was very supportive and complimentary about it, which meant more to me, honestly, than a big hit movie. I mean, it's not an easy thing to say, being the Philistine that I am. A big hit movie in this town means a lot, you know. It means that you're validated, it means that you're respected by the people who dole out the work. It means you can probably get laid a lot if you're not married, or even for some if you are married. But my point is, it meant more, because from Milton to me, I think of him as a mentor and a teacher, as I think everyone who studies with him does. And I respect him. That word I don't take lightly. And he has earned that respect from me over the years, and I think of many other people, because he is a straight shooter. He will not tell you the convenient, whatever's convenient to say. He will tell me anyway the truth, in a way, in terms of my work, in terms of life, that he feels is going to help me and make me reach for a higher bar. Anyway, I did that play by John Patrick Shanley, and after I wallowed in that victory for a while, I could tell Milton was tired of seeing that, and he said, "Now I think it's time for you to do something else." Milton suggested that after I, hadn't done anything for about 6 months, that I do A Man for All Seasons. And so I immediately thought, that's a bad idea, because I can't even read it and understand it, let alone direct it. And he said, no, you'll understand that it's about power. I said, I understand power. I have to work in the business, and I know what, it's like to be put in jail, and I know what it's like to be told what to do, and I know what it's like to, be on a line with my hat in hand for work, and I understand those people in power. He said, you do this, and if you really don't want to do it, then I get it, but I'd like you to try to do this. And so I did A Man for All Seasons, and it didn't go as well as the other Shanley play, but in the critique for it, it went well enough, but in the critique for it, Milton made it clear to me, when I fumbled for my explanation about why I made whatever choices I made and what it was really about, he made it clear to me that I had succeeded because I had directed something that I was afraid of. And it reminded me of something that Jack Lemmon, who also studied with Milton, told me, that if he reads something and it scares him, he's got to do it. And Jack always, right before I'd say action, I did a movie with him called Grumpier Old Men, and every time, and another movie too, but every time he was about to act, I'd say action, and before he'd do his line, he'd say, it's magic time. He'd whisper it, and he'd say his line. For me, I would say it's magic time with Milton, because there's very few people in my life who have had that kind of impact on me, not just in terms of work, but in the way to live my life. So, ethically and morally, I have to say that it is not just an acting class. It's a class to learn about more than that. When I first came to Milton, just an anecdote is that I had no experience directing. I was lucky to get a job directing a movie. And it was a love story, and the guy and the girl really, it didn't feel like they were getting along at all. There was no chemistry, and I was terrified, and I confided in Milton about this, and he said, well, that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, Tell her that he likes her, tell him that she likes him, and before you know it, they'll want to have sex. I said, I don't think so, Milton. I mean, they don't like each other. He said, just try it. He'll never remember this, but I took his advice, and not only did it work, but it became a very successful movie. It was called Pretty in Pink. It was my first movie. I would never have known that kind of that's not called just directing. That's called life experience, and that's called generosity. Sharing that with me, as an aside, one morning on Saturday, probably changed my career more than I can even, guess. But there's hundreds of those that Milton's has given me, and many, many other people. So, for me, it's just a way for people sharing something to share about the man that I think most don't understand. And by the way, there aren't a lot of people who have that kind of experience, that kind of talent to give.